everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Unverified Accounts Pod. How are you doing, Micayla?
I'm I'm making it, my sleep is catching up with me. So the last week or two I've been like a zombie. So trying to get these bags lifted.
Lifted.
Other than that, I'm all right. Same old, same old. How about you?
Um, I'm I'm trying to be positive. It's hard being positive. I moved, but they didn't give me the keys to my place until the day I had to move out of my old place at 4:30. So that was a lot. Like this whole LA apartment thing has always just been a journey. But I am grateful to have a roof over my head. So I'm trying to keep that and not think about how much money I'm spending on rent. So
Yeah, think about that.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, well, today we're just gonna answer a couple of questions. Like some deep stimulating, I don't know,
Thought-provoking,
thought-provoking, deep conversation starter questions. We haven't done this in a
reflective
minute, so I guess let's just get right into it.
to it.
So the first question is going to be, what insecurities have you grown out of?
Mm, I would say it's funny because I really didn't have any insecurities until I got older. Like, I didn't really have insecurities as a kid. In middle school, maybe a little bit, but like, other than that, my main like insecurities or little thoughts in the back of my head really didn't pop up until like high school. So I would say, I mean, it's been enough time to still have grown out of it, but I would say my insecurities are more like newfound. I don't know if it's just my thought process and mental space and state that changed as I got older, but yeah, I wouldn't even say I would necessarily have grown out of anything.
I think I haven't grown out of them either. So if you just want to say like what your insecurities are,
I
we
had
could
nothing
do
to
that.
use. Ain't gonna have nothing to use against me. Okay, my main insecurity is that my face looks a mess, but I don't want you to put that in there because no, we gotta exude confidence. Um, I don't know. Like I've never really had like a insecurity with my weight. It's only like if I know that I've obviously noticeably gained weight and I'm not fitting in my clothes, it gets annoying. And then I become slightly insecure, like, oh, great. This crop top makes me look like a whale or a honey baked ham.
Mhm.
You know how the little net just pushes through. Yeah. But I wouldn't say it's necessarily insecurity because it's very dependent on like time and space and me. So it's not like an insecurity because I always been a cute little thick one. So I know I
Mhm.
ain't no toothpick and never will be. But I think too, like when men, and not even like men like who I'm talking to or have a crush on or like me, it's like when it's men who are like your uncle or your father, it's like,
Mhm.
thanks. And I wouldn't even say it necessarily becomes an insecurity, but it's like when somebody points it out and it's like a family member or like some bum ass, bald, fat man, like, all right, thanks so much. You really make me feel great about myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I would have to
But
agree that most of my insecurities didn't really stem from me. It stemmed from like my environment and what other people have said to me that made me insecure. I think one that I am trying to grow out of and slightly have grown out of is just Bless you. Just being so insecure about like how emotional I am all the time. Like, um, I have gotten made fun of a lot for crying, and so I know some people have said some crap about me for crying, and you know who you are if you are listening to this, because we have beef. Like, why would you say that disrespectful stuff about me behind my back? Like nobody would tell me. Um,
She want all the smoke.
yeah, it's like if I see them, I want to fight somebody, but I'm not going to. Um,
Don't say that on
so
camera. They need to know. They need to just think that you will.
they know how I am. Like I'm I'm just more so like every emotion I cry and then I can sometimes feel other people's emotions or just like I'm someone who can put myself into other people's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So and see from their perspective. So that like I just can't,
Ignorant is bad.
yeah. And I used to hate that about myself, but I think I have to learn to that not everyone can do that. And it makes me a more sympathetic and empathetic human being to other people and very understanding. Although people try to, take advantage of that, but uh it's something that I'm learning to love. But I'm still insecure about being I don't I hate to bring this up, but being just pale, light skin. Like even though like right now I'm tan, like my scalp is white compared to the skin, I still look regular. Like you can't tell I'm tan. Like I look just light and bright as always. So that's a huge one that I'm like, and just like regular stuff. Like I would say weight for me is another one, but in a different way. Like when I was younger, like doing dance, it was more of a thing for me just because you're in a leotard and tights and um sometimes I do like I did have a little like almost an eating disorder back when I was dancing and that's part of the reason I stopped. So sometimes like I have to be careful like in the gym because sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm too bulky. I look like I don't know. Not even that, like it for me, it's not really my stomach, it's more so like my hips and thighs and butt.
Hmm.
Um, and as I've gotten older, like I don't do much to make my butt look nice. It just
I
my
be needing
hips
them
spread
squats.
and my it just happens.
I be squats,
Yeah.
baby.
So that's like a big thing for me because my mom and like other like growing up in church, they would make me like wear a size bigger just so it wouldn't be tight on my body, which also made me feel insecure because like why am I a small needing you're putting me in like a medium and then having dance teachers telling me I'm fat and you're putting me in a larger size and it just was like mind
Yeah.
boggling, stupefying. Um, so that's mainly it for me. Those were like my big ones.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that I don't know. That's a hard one for me because it's like they new to me. I look back like, I don't really remember feeling insecure at all before like 15.
No, when I'm telling you, when I was a kid, like elementary school, I used to pray to be dark skinned so the kids would stop pointing me out of school.
And then you would have
That
been
didn't
dark.
happen.
They would have been calling your ass black.
I feel like
No in
either way it wouldn't
between.
matter.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Then you would have been
Yeah.
dark and still.
Yeah. Just crazy. Ready for the next one?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What do you owe yourself?
Um, I would say I owe myself to try things because a lot of times I either am too afraid, and it's not like I'm afraid because I don't think I can do something. It's the what if I don't do it the way I saw myself doing it? Or what if I do this and people are looking at me like, why is she doing this? Why did she just drop a song? Like everybody want to be a rapper. Why did she, like I think I at least owe myself to try things that I
Hmm.
want to try, but it's very difficult to actually do it and put aside everything else and just do something that you want to do.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's what I would say.
Mm. For me, I would say I owe myself kindness. I
Mhm,
am my harshest critic.
mhm,
Um, and I can be very, very mean to myself.
mhm.
So just I would it's more so like allowing myself to fail and allowing people to help me. I don't
Giving
know
yourself
where,
grace,
huh?
giving yourself grace.
Giving myself grace.
Definitely need
Uh
that.
yeah, I'm trying to stop those very mean comments that I
Mhm.
say to myself in my head out loud. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
Um,
I just had to get to the point where I would say something like, "You stupid," and I'd be like, "No, you're
have
not.
to
No, you're not."
correct it.
Like
Yeah.
it's like a whole conversation. Like, why am I going back and forth with myself? Like, is this a red flag? Is this supposed to be happening? But yeah, I agree because I think I owe myself grace as well because
Hmm.
and then even like I never really considered certain things like it being hard on myself. Like my
Yeah.
mom all my life was like, "You're so hard on yourself. You're so hard on yourself." But the thing that she was saying was me being hard on myself. Like I wouldn't consider that being hard on myself. Like even like last year or the year before, and I've had this job and I was mad, like I should have had more money saved up and I was spending more money than I should
Hmm.
have been because now I've been working here this long. I don't have anything saved up in my bank account and blah, 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 blah. And my mom's like, you still have more than I had at your age. Like you're so hard on yourself. But me, that's not considered being hard on myself. That's if I do the math and I've been working here X amount of years, I make X amount of dollars, and I look
Hmm.
at my bank account, why is the bank account this amount when it could be this amount?
Yeah.
I don't see that being hard. Or like when I want to do something and I'm like stressed out and trying to make it perfect. And it's like, you're so hard on yourself. But certain things, like I never really considered it until like other people were like, "Oh, you're so hard on
Yeah.
yourself," or, "Oh," like, and I'm just like, I guess if multiple people tell me, but I just don't see it.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's just
Yeah.
how
My
I
dad was literally like telling me basically like you have people who want to support you and help you. Like, why aren't you letting like let me help you? Like let me I don't know. I just don't like I've never felt comfortable. Like even if my grandparents gave me 25 cents, I never wanted to like be a burden to anybody. And I think that's all where it stems from, but I don't know where I felt like I was a burden. I need to like figure that out. But
be better than me. I don't ask for help either,
hyper
but
independent.
oh, yeah. I was about to say, you better than me because I don't like asking for help either, but mine is more
Hmm.
so like asking for help to figure this out. Asking, want somebody to give me $1? Oh, baby, thank you.
No,
You said you want to pay for my meal tonight, Mom? Thank you.
no.
Can you send me $20 for DoorDash? Like, even if I don't need it, I'm gonna ask because something about me
Hmm.
spending my own money just never sat right with me. Because why am I spending
No.
it when you can spend it for me? Because you have more money than me, so you can spend it. Like, why am I spending it? But yeah,
My grandmother said the day
I
you
get
ask for help, I will pass out. I said, rightfully so, because I just never, she just always like, it's like, I'm putting money in your account. I'm like, thank you. But because I never asked for anything. She was like, do you need something? No, I'm good. Unless you're gonna make me a grilled cheese sandwich, I don't want nothing.
Yeah, you better than me. Cause like I said, when it comes to like certain things, yeah, like I don't
Mhm.
ask for even if I don't need it. I'm gonna ask for a couple dollars. I'm gonna already be ordering my DoorDash and then ask my mom, like, you wanna send me $15 for this DoorDash I just ordered, even though I really don't need your money. I just closed mouths don't get fed. So do you want to send it or not? She'd be like, you got your own money. I'm like, okay, bye. But no, I get you though, because yeah, even like in school, I would never, why am I
Oh,
asking you for help?
they were
I
always like,
could,
Sydney could do so much better if she actually spoke up and asked questions.
I could, but I'm not going to, babe. I
Exactly.
gotta look like I know what I'm doing. Do I look like old Billy over there in the corner that need help with his homework? Like, I'm not. I know the Pythagorean theorem. He forgot it. I know.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, yeah.
What is the most hurtful thing someone has ever said to you? If you're not
Um,
ready, I can go because I think
so
about this every day.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Maybe you maybe you should go because mine isn't that deep.
I don't, mine isn't, I mean, I don't know if it's deep, but
If you think about it every day.
I like, I can't go a day without like, because it's only because every day at work they play the song and it just triggers it in my mind. So the
Mm,
last year I ever danced, my last performance ever, um, I was in ballet class. I was in ballet three, which was like the highest ballet level. And like ballet was like my main thing. I only did like I love jazz, but regardless, if I was gonna take one dance class, my mom was always gonna be like, "You're not taking anything else. You're taking ballet." That was like
mhm.
her big thing. She never let me take hip hop or anything else.
This
So
makes it hip hop.
I've been doing that all day at work.
Remember that
Then I did
breakdance
a little kangaroo hop.
that breakdancer girl really does.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know she had a PhD in breakdance, and that really
Yes.
I'm like, oh my God, get him off the floor. Like
Yeah.
ruining our culture. Like kidding, love y'all. But continue.
So we were in this little uh the theme was like the greats. So like our dance teacher chose Whitney Houston, the song I Want to Dance with Somebody. I can still like remember most of the dance to this day. That I guess that's how traumatizing it is for me.
Oh.
But so we were in this little trio and we were doing it was like what is it? It was like Chasse, Assemblée, like whatever, Tom, whatever. We did this little like breakout section and it was like a pirouette and then a double pirouette and we traveled and we had to stay like in our spacing. We had this develope and I was the only one, which I should looking back was like a really big accomplishment. I was the only one in this little quartet that was not in competition dance. Um,
Mm,
and
mhm,
I was just having like a really bad day because this was like sophomore year. No, maybe it was either freshman or sophomore year. No, it was sophomore year because that's when I transferred to Groves. And my dad got diagnosed with cancer. I was probably going through one of like the most depressing points of my life.
mhm,
Just from going to a school, not having any friends, literally not even eating lunch because I had that whole little dance teacher calling us fat. So I would skip lunch, be in the library every day,
mhm,
um, and go to dance and just barely be holding myself together. And
mhm,
I got cut from the little quartet, which wasn't a big deal. Like that wasn't a big deal. But the day we performed, backstage, there was this one girl who for a couple weeks like just hadn't shown up to class and she was never there when we did that quartet, bless you. Um, and one of the girls who was in the quartet was like wanted to be cool with her, like such a pick me.
mhm,
So she was like, "Oh, girl, do you like literally right in front of my face, like looked me in the eye while she said this?" She's like, "Don't you remember that little part, that little section? Um, was going to go above the dance teacher and add her into this group that I got cut out of right in front of me backstage when we're about to go on to perform. So every time I hear I want to dance with somebody, I can literally see her telling her that. And that was like one of the most hurtful backstabbing things that ever happened to me because we had both known each other from a completely other dance studio. And then she joined
So,
the competition girls and started acting funny.
so she
Um,
wanted, you
this
said she went above the dance teacher's head to tell her to join the quartet?
yes, she was like, because it was just like a little breakout section. Like
Uh,
everybody's, has their group performance, and then we would leave the group, come in again and do this little section without the group. Like it would highlight just the four
right.
of us. And then I got kicked out of it, so it turned to a trio. The other girl comes back during, I think it was like dress rehearsals, and one of the girls in the trio that I was cool with, like,
Mhm.
was we weren't friends, but like we were friendly and we knew
Right.
each other from another studio. But when she got with the competition girls, she wasn't, she started acting a little weird towards me.
Mhm.
Um, and so she tried to add the other girl into the the quartet section when she wasn't even there to learn the quartet, and she did it while looking right at me, um, in front of my face backstage.
Cute.
And I don't even like, I think I didn't even perform. Did I perform? I think that last performance I left like I didn't even, because we performed twice.
Hmm.
I did my first like two dances. Then when we had the second show, I did my one dance and I left. I didn't do the finale or my last dance, my ballet routine where I want to dance with somebody. Yeah.
Oh, so when I sing that song, because I sing that song more often than I think.
You can sing the song. It's just like every time I hear the song, that's just what I
So I'm
think
not gonna want
about.
to sing the song. Why am I gonna sing the I want to dance? Knowing I might be stirring up psychological trauma. Yeah, sure. Let me just keep singing the song.
I mean, it's like I like the song. I I don't know. It's just like I just can't help but think like you never think someone would do that to you, or
Hmm.
like you would never think to see someone do that in front of you. Like,
Yeah.
see you get cut from a routine and then add somebody try to add somebody in the routine and not be the dance teacher, just be a dance student like I am.
Yeah.
And it was just like very weird behavior.
Weirdo,
Um,
sweet girl.
yeah. And I already was going through a lot. So,
A lot of turmoil there.
yeah.
Okay. So for me, it's not even something that necessarily hurt my feelings. It's just something I think about because it's like, dang, it's like I know it ain't true, but it's like, why would you say that? So in high school, I think I was like a sophomore by now. I could have been a junior. I don't remember. It don't matter. We had this girl on our team, pretty white girl, blue eyes, like she's really pretty. And oh my God, so this he was the JV coach for the boys. So we would always like interact and see him because you know how like both teams like kind of interact and we're in high
Hmm.
school, so we already know the people on the team anyway. So it's like, yeah. So we're in the trainer's room, and I think it was after a game. Might have been before a game. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was like a game day though. So I'm in there. It's my other teammate and another. I think it was two of my teammates. I don't remember, but so he's like, "Oh, you look like," talking to the other girl. He's like, "Oh, you look like you just got out the shower." And I don't think he was being weird, but it was like she did have that like look where like it would look like she just like washed her face or got out of the shower because she would like, the blood vessels are pumping and
Hmm.
whatever. So she was like, "Yeah, I've heard that, but whatever." He gonna look at me and say, "You know who you look like?" I'm like, "Who?" Your phone did not freeze. That was just a long pause because he told me I look like Black Youngster. Now, why would you say that to a teenage girl? First of all. Second of all, why would you say that to me knowing you got a brown crooked tooth? Okay. Third of all, it didn't even like it didn't hurt my feelings, but it was kind of like, dang, do
Why
I
would you
like
say
how?
that?
Yeah, like you know how when you already might have like slight insecurities and somebody says something and you're like, even though I don't believe it, I know this isn't true. It's like I still be thinking about that. Like, why would he say that to me? Like I kind of laugh about it now, but why would you say that? Like, I'm sure there's way more hurtful things that have been said that either I
Hmm.
repressed or I just don't remember. But that one, because I was in high school, so it sticks out. It's like, why would you even? You're 35, get a life. He might be 40. I don't know. Well, obviously by now he is, but I was like, wow, who says that? Black youngster? I look like black. I look like black youngster.
You don't look like him at all.
Okay, great. Just needed to make sure. Thanks. But yeah, so I'm not gonna give him the power to say that that was the most hurtful thing anybody's ever told me because it wasn't. But it's just like it's something that sticks out in somebody's head. Like, why the hell would you call me that? And if y'all don't know who Black Youngster is, please stop
Look
living
him
under
up.
that rock and also look him up because that's just off the wall, out of bounds. Like, why would you even tell? Why would you say that to somebody?
That's just kind of how I felt though. It wasn't even that it was like the most hurtful thing anyone has ever said to me because there's plenty of worse things people have said to me. It's just the fact that you had the audacity to do that.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow.
Hey, right.
And I had completely forgotten about it. And then something just happened, and I was like, oh, forgot about that. And now I can't listen to it without thinking about it.
Mm, all right.
Yeah.
I'm singing it because now it's stuck in my head. Not gonna lie.
It's okay. Okay, so I think this might be the last one, maybe. I don't know. What are some mistakes your parents made that you want to avoid? This can be anywhere, any aspect of your life.
I would say pertaining to my father, I mean, just being present, like a present. Not that it's not like he's an absent father, like I haven't seen him in 10 years but it's like he's
Hmm.
not present. Like he just, yeah, he's not the best to seek support from or to
Hmm.
just, so I would say I'm definitely, you think I'm not about to be a present mama? Oh my God. I'm sorry. I might smother them because I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna be one of them parents like, oh my God, she's 3. She's 3 already. Oh my God, come
Girl.
here. So big now. You know, it's like you just have to know yourself. I know when I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna be crying to my husband. Your son is yeah. Um, I would say another one. Sorry, mother. But I just want to pick the right partner, husband, lifelong. Like, if we locked in, ain't no switching up. Ain't no switching up. So I would say that I think my mom, well, I'm not gonna say ignored any red flags because she was saying that the person she met and the person she married, two different people. So I would say not necessarily that she ignored red flags, but just I do a background check, medical history, all of that. But I don't think it was anything that it was like an obvious mistake. Like you can make a mistake without it necessarily being your fault. I feel
Hmm.
like it's like if you come to a crossroads and you go left instead of keeping straight, or you take the fork on the right instead of the left, and then it's a dead end. Like you didn't know, you weren't supposed to know, or it was no way to know, but you still made the wrong choice, I would say.
Hmm.
So I'll say that. Um, I don't know. I can't really think of any other like, yeah, mistakes. I know how important it is now that, I mean, obviously it's important. Like, I'm not gonna have a kid and not be around when they're a baby, but it's like I understand how crucial those first few weeks and few months are for the
Hmm.
development of a relationship because of the relationship I have slash don't have with my dad, and then learning the things that he did when I was an infant and a toddler to be like, oh yeah, that is important because if you're not holding your child when they're crying as a 6 month old, probably not gonna have the same type of, I would say, boy, let me pop that baby out. Right. I don't want to smother him, but if I got to, I will. Right. Scotch. What's the song? Buy you a diamond ring.
Oh.
Girl, anyway, so um what about you? What's some mistakes you've noticed and watched from a distance?
I would say for me in my life, I would want to listen to my child, advocate for my child. It's not that my parents didn't do that. It's more so like, I don't know. It's like I feel like my mom is the oldest child of my grandparents. So I felt like she had this
Mm,
like make it out the hood mentality, like gotta do the best, gotta put them in the best without regards to what I wanted to do or how I felt mentally in certain situations.
yeah.
So I would definitely just like listen to my child a little bit more, you know. Um,
I also think
because
maybe because sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say also maybe because she was the oldest, it's like when she was coming up, and we both know in the Black community, the girls are treated way different
Hmm.
than the boys. But maybe that being not only the oldest, but also the girl, which you happen to have a similar position, but your mom, maybe she had the same thing from the grandparents, like she was the first one. So they're like, nope, you're gonna do this, you're gonna take piano, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. And then by the time, the younger one came, they were like, okay, sure, do what you want. Or, it's a
It's not
different
even that. Like I know Jordy and I as siblings were raised very differently. And the stuff Jordy gets away with, I'm just like, wow, I could never. And that's no offense to Jordy. That's all how my parents raised him, how that happened for them. For me, it was just different. It was a lot of pressure. It still is a lot of pressure to perform, even though like I'm out of college. Like I feel like if I want to do certain things or I talk about, oh, I don't like it out here, I want to move home, it's like you can't move home. This is not even like just from my mom's, from my uncle, like there's nothing for you
Mhm.
back here. You're gonna get stuck and yada yada yada. I'm like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's expensive and I can barely pay my rent and I don't have a job and I'm working two jobs trying to survive. And you talking about if I move back home, there's
And
nothing
home
for
is
me.
home.
Home, I don't have to be struggling trying to pay rent.
That and home is home. Like, I get like some people, depending on their upbringing or the area they
Hmm.
grew up in, sometimes it is best to like stay gone because you might, certain lifestyles people live, they might go. But it's like for you, it's not that. Number one. Number two, it's like even if there aren't as many lucrative opportunities, it's still home. If I want to come home just to feel like I'm home, to feel like there's something I can relate to and feel comfortable and safe in,
Hmm.
why can't I just do that? It doesn't have to be 10 years. It could be a year. It could be 6 months. It could be a month. It could be a weekend. but it's
Yeah.
all home. It's always gonna be home. So I don't get that part. Like I get
I
if it
never got it because it was never like I'm moving back home. I don't want to work or I don't have like it
right,
was also always I want to move back home because I don't like LA and I would want to move to New York.
right,
That was
or
always the move back home situation. Like, give me a
yeah,
couple months, stack some bread, and I'm
yeah,
gone. Because I
exactly.
already know I can't deal with being in the house with y'all
Right.
for
And
too
look,
long.
I already don't want to be here with y'all anyway, so y'all ain't got to worry about me.
Look
But
at
yeah.
her calling me right now.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna tell her, sorry, I can't. She called me twice because my phone is on. Uh, not do not disturb, but sleep time,
Mm.
bedtime mode. So,
But yeah, I feel like they're acting as if you have something that you like some environment that you don't need to
mhm,
be around. Some like like when people have a past, like okay, you got into trouble when you was younger, and like
mhm,
it's not that. I don't understand the whole like I get some people who they either started hanging out with the wrong crowds or
mhm.
they do like okay, yeah, maybe don't come home to give yourself an opportunity to mess up. But it's like for you, I mean,
It's just
what's
they won't have anything to brag about anymore. It's not, oh, Sydney's in LA. It's oh, Sydney came back home. That's what it really is. Um, what else? I don't know. Oh, another thing is that whole family aspect. Like, no offense to my father, but no offense to my sister either. I love you both, but I have a half sister. My dad was married beforehand.
mm-hmm.
That didn't work out. Like, I want to be one and done. I'm trying to break the
Say
generational curse of
it again.
having a child before being married. I want to be married when I have my kids. No
I'm
offense,
definitely gonna be married. Definitely
but
gonna be married.
I
And it's gonna
like
be a
all
one.
these kids popping up and no weddings happening isn't sitting right in my spirit. So,
Yeah, that's one thing Michelle did. Amen. Because I was a product of marriage. It may not have worked out like you thought, girl, but hey, you did your big one on that one. Because,
mhm,
yeah, I definitely one and done. And mine isn't even like my grandparents married, my uncle, was he married before he had my cousin? I can't remember, but he was in the military. So, they be getting all married and stuff early. So he had her at like 24, but I think he was already married. I can't remember. So it's like my family, we get married. I think maybe it might be a couple people like, cousins that, well, let me say, my mama side, we get married. It might be some cousins that might have had a kid before they got married, but they still
mhm.
married the parent or something. But everybody is married. Like my grandparents married, all the aunts and uncles married. My mom was married. My uncle was married. He's still married, but not to a human. She's more like a demon. Um,
Oh God.
um, and then on my grandma's her family, like all of the older cousins married, kids married. Now my dad's side, I can't talk about them. I can't speak on them folks. But it's just like I am going to fall in line. I'm gonna get that ring. I wear a size 8 for any future husband who may stumble across this. I wear a size 8. You ain't even gotta worry unless I gain a whole lot of water weight and blow up. It's been an 8 since I can remember.
I
But
don't even. That's the
girl,
one
I
thing
know
for
my
me. I
ring.
don't like rings because
I used
I
to
very
love
much have the pit hands where all of my fingers are crooked. Like, um,
think mine.
so my knuckles are also like larger than like my actual fingers. So
So it
whenever
got
I wear rings, they're a little like loose because they have to go over my knuckle.
that hump.
Yeah, and it just
Mm.
as much as I want to be a cute jewelry girl, it's the rings always lose me because I feel like either they're suffocating or they're about to fly off.
Mm, well, I don't
Trying
know
to
what's
figure that one out.
more, but my husband won't even. I'm going to be that girlfriend that's like, when the day comes, I'm a size 8. And he better be listening because if it's a size 9 and it's too big, I'm not even getting married to you, sir, because you don't listen. I've been telling you every day for the last 6 years. Actually, not let me not even claim that because I really don't want to be dating somebody for 6 years before I get married. Like 3 years. Because at this point,
Why was I low key like doing the mental math? I was like,
yeah, because 6 years from
I
now,
was like, okay, I'm about to be 24. It's still possible to be married at 28.
no, it is. I be telling myself that, like, I'll meet him tomorrow. I'm gonna meet him tomorrow. You know what? I need to start going out more and talking to people, bumping into, like, I bumped into my husband, and this is how I met your father. But yeah, what was I about to say? I was about to say something.
Ring size,
Oh no, the whole
six
6 years.
years. Yeah.
If I start dating him today, right now, when I get off of this podcast, 6 years from now is 30. Not that 30 is old, but it's just like you could have
What
got
were
married
we
2 years
doing?
before. Yeah. Now, I definitely, it's different when people start dating in like college and high school
Mm-hmm.
because you start dating somebody at 15 or 16, you can date for 10 years and then, because you might not be ready to get married. You guys are still young. But at this point, if I meet somebody at 24, 25, 4 years is good. 4 years is a nice cap because 4 years from now, I'll be 28. If I meet them at 25, I'll be 29. By the time, and then here's the math for me because wedding does not equal engagement. So if you propose to me within that 4 years, my wedding gonna be the next year. So it's really like five.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Oh my God.
I was talking about this with my friend though, because she's very much like, she was like, I don't know how she said it, but she was basically saying like I don't center men in my life. And I
Hmm.
was like, that's very true about me because you do. Because you always talk about some guy, you just want to be loved, blah, blah, blah. No
Me?
offense to no, not
Oh,
you, but I'm talking about her. Like she does. And I was like, there's
oh,
nothing wrong with that, but there also is like, I don't like I'm very much like a lover girl, lovey-dovey, but I don't like center men in my life.
yeah.
And I think
I think,
we
and I
both
think that's
don't.
the problem. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna say the problem, but and side note, because I didn't actually watch the clips and interviews, but did you see Kirk Franklin was saying something about how
Yes.
he feels like marriage has been weaponized because it's something wrong with you if you're not married, which is
Hmm.
true because it's like in the Bible, it's talking about, get married and do this and do that,
Hmm.
but it doesn't say how popular it is. Like, does it
Yeah.
say every other person was married or is it only like some people? Like,
Yeah.
50% of marriages end in divorce. Is that because more people are getting married now? Or is that like,
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people probably are rushing into marriage to
because they
just,
want to feel, yeah,
yeah.
like they got it. But I was about to say, what was I about to say? Oh, I was gonna say, I definitely feel like because I was raised by a single mother, even though they got married and were married for a few years, even during their marriage, it very much gave single mother because she was still doing
Hmm.
everything pretty much. But I think that it can be a fault, but it can also be like realistic. Like it's not always about men and marriage and relationships. But I think I definitely am like, okay, like I want to be married. I want to be loved. I want to have a man that I
Hmm.
know loves me and he knows that I love him. I want to have kids with this man. But at the same time, I say all this because I know that it's in my future. But the way I act now is like, okay, like I don't really prioritize talking to men while also still prioritizing the fact that I'm gonna have one. Okay, amen. But I would say some of that might be because of the whole single mother thing and then, slight trust issues with men and then knowing like if my mama ain't settling and don't need a man, 'cause you
Hmm.
may want one. We all want one. We all want to feel loved and want to have a companion for our lifetime. But my mama is a doctor, make this money, drive this car. Why do I need a man? Like, I think that's my
Hmm.
perspective. Like, why do I need a man? I don't need you. I'm already independent. Aside from the whole single mom, only child, I'm already independent. So I already like to do things myself. I already don't want somebody paying for stuff. I'm forcing myself now, like at work, if somebody offers to do something or somebody offers to buy me something, I am
It's
trying to
so
force
hard for
myself.
me.
Yeah. But I'm at the point where I'm trying to force myself because I don't want to be that person that people feel like she never wants to ask for help. She doesn't take any help. If I offer her something, she never takes it. Like, I don't want to
You know,
be
they
that. So
called
I've
me
been
out at work about that. My coworker was like, Sydney never asked for help, but if you see she has a lot, just go over there and take some.
yeah,
Because
I'm
she's
trying
not gonna
to
say it.
force myself. Like somebody asked me, like, Micayla, you want the rest of my sandwich or the rest of my I would always say no because no, like, no, you can have it. But now if it's something like, yeah, I kind of do, I'll be like, yeah. Like I'm trying to force myself to be that.
Hmm.
I know that I am not that. Like if somebody give me money for food or something, I'm like, what did you give me this for? Or somebody give me some money and it's not like a close friend, like at work, people was giving me money for my birthday, and I was like, cool, but I didn't know how much each person was giving. They just gave me a card with money in it, and that shit came in clutch. It was like total for my coworkers, I got like $300. Like,
Wow.
yeah, like okay, but oof. I am not Omega Sci-Fi. That looks slightly. I'm not Omega.
Why would you be Omega
I
Sci-Fi,
know.
girl?
I know. I know. But yeah, that asking for help or like when people give me something and I'm like, why are you giving me all this? Like I went to the Future concert with my cousin and one of my coworkers and she was saying like, "Oh, I'll pay for it." And I had told her like, "Girl, I don't need the whole like, I just need something to go at this point. Like, you don't have to pay me the whole it was like 170. I was like, "You don't have to pay me the whole 170, whatever." So she get in the car and she hands me cash. It's like 150. It was 350s. I was like, what's this? And I gave her one of the 50s back. She's like, girl, but it's just because I don't know. It's something about like, if I at the beginning was like, yeah, you want to go to this concert? And I'd be like, okay, yeah, send me the money. But the fact that she was willing to go and offered to come with me, and I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, so nice. Ah, so nice to me. But I was like, girl, it's don't worry about it. So I feel like that's my problem is I am so good at giving other people grace and not me. And I'm
Yeah.
so bad at like not only asking for help, but taking favors. Like when people do me favors, I'm the one that does favors. So when somebody else does it to me, I'm just like, thanks. Like it's I want to say yes. So me forcing myself to say yes is like, girl, like that's what you wanted to say, but you wouldn't
Hmm.
have said it. So I'm just like, okay, yes. Or I want that. And not even like want the help, but I want people to want to help me, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
I don't even necessarily need the help, but the fact that somebody offers and does it is like that means I probably have some very terrible boundaries and poor standards for people because I don't expect much. But
Yeah.
yes, the fact that people offer to help is enough. So usually, even if I say no, like it's the fact that they offered. It's like my one coworker brought me some lamb chops and mac and cheese. She was like, "Micayla, I brought you some lamb chops and mac and cheese." I was like, "Girl," because I don't be cooking. Oh my God, like you thought about me? You didn't bring any food to all of your other coworkers that you've known for 10 years. You brought it to me. Ugh, don't make me cry right here because you fuck with me. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. Anyway, I don't think she listens to my podcast, but if she does, girl, I'm not talking about you.
Girl.
I don't even like you, girl. I'm just
Mm-mm.
using you for the food. Anyway, enough of this
Mm-mm.
rambling. Any other questions, topics,
No,
anything?
I think that was all of them.
Okay.
I think so. Oh,
We
the
got
other one
another.
was what is something you're holding on to and why?
Um, okay, so this is hard because I'm holding on to it, but this doesn't mean that I need to let it go because I'm not letting it go. I'm holding on to the idea of myself and perception of myself pre-college,
Mm,
pre-college slash during college, because I'm not the same. I'm not the same person. I've been out of school for, dare I say, 5 years. So I would say the thought that I can cut this part of my life out and remove it and then shift from 25 and up and paste it to the end of 18. Does that make sense? The fact that I can't do that is like, because in my head, I see this phase of my life as being like, okay, this is just, whatever. But reality is, it's been 5 years, so this part of my life is going to be a part of my story and a part of my life, no matter when I
mm-hmm,
finish school, what I become, what I end up doing with my life. But I so badly want to, if I go back to school today and finish in 2 years or however long it takes me, I'll be there. But it's not like I'm going to be 26, 27. Like that's not the same as 22, 21. So I think I'm holding on to the idea of myself that I once was, even though I'm still that same person, I'm also not. So it's hard because I don't want to let that go because I don't want to see myself as being different or being changed or not being as smart or not being as, like things aren't going to be as fresh in my head. Like I didn't just
mm-hmm.
take this class 6 years ago. I mean, last year and now 6 years ago. But yeah, I really so badly want to cut and paste so badly. It's like when the when like the engineer of a song like cuts this here and cuts this part out and just that's what I
Mm-hmm.
want to do so bad. I want to take a couple scenes out. They can be bonus scenes at the end. Like they can be in my little autobiography at the end. Like, yes, I also didn't go to school for 6 years, but we'll talk about that later. Like I really want that to be a thing, but it's not. Can't do that. So that's mainly what I'm holding on to. I'm still holding on to the faith that I will graduate on my own time, obviously, because who else's time would I be on? So yeah, I'm holding on to that. I'm holding on to the fact that I know I'm going to do something great with my life and I'm going to be something great. Just don't know when, don't know what, don't know how. So that's why I said me saying I'm holding on to something isn't necessarily something that I need to let go because I don't think I necessarily need to let go the idea of what I am and
Mm-hmm.
was at 18 because if I let that go, I feel like everything else is out the window. If I know in my heart and in my head that this is the person I am, once was, will be again, then I have the capability or I'll be more probable that that will come true. So I'll say I'm holding on to it and I'm not letting it go. Like you know, what about you?
Um, I would say I I don't even know if this counts, but I feel like I'm holding on to other people's expectations and perceptions of me.
That definitely
Um,
counts because you definitely are.
yeah, and I need to just kick them out. Like, it's okay to like hear what people like have to say about you, but I just feel like I work so hard at being perfect for everybody else but myself. Like, it's hard to say, what do I really want to do? What do I really want to be? Because I'm too busy being everything and anybody for anyone, which is annoying. I'm such a like a I'm not. I am not a people pleaser. I am not. I just really like helping people too much sometimes. So I hold on to other people's perceptions of me. And that's like it scares me sometimes because I'm like, who am I really? Because I feel like I'm always, not always, but a good part of me is like being who someone expects me or wants me to be and not really being myself.
Yeah. A lot of that
Yeah.
probably stems from your family dynamics, though. And then it's
Yeah.
especially because I know your mom likes to keep up the pretty faces and perfect picture for others. So I think that trickled and rubbed off on you because it's like, if my mom does this, I have to be like this for her and for everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have anything for real for relax relate release?
I said, no, I'm playing. Mm, I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. What about you?
Well, for me, there's so many things I could
Let me.
say, but let
Where do
me
I
get this one
start?
thing off my chest because like living in LA, driving an hour and a half plus to work every day. You develop a little bit of road rage. And then I'm starting to see like, ooh, maybe I do have the same temperament as my father because he'll say stuff and I'm like, Dad, why are you taking it to this extreme? Like they were just looking at you. You don't need to beat them all down. Like I understand you feel that way, but I'm like, dang, I feel that way because when people stare at me, I'll be like, what you looking at? Like I'm in Target, right? All I been in Target every day because I move. Like I keep buying stuff, like it don't work, I gotta take it back. Buying stuff don't work, gotta take it back. Like I'm there every day. They know me by now. Like, hey, what up, Sydney? They don't really, but they probably like, why this girl here every day? Like, go
Every day.
home. So I'm literally people are walking slow. So I cut through the clothing section
Like,
to like any
calm.
normal person does to
Yeah,
get past the crowd.
right.
So I'm about to exit the clothing section and be in the aisle again, and this white lady's just like pushing a basket, staring at me, walking slowly, and just won't stop staring at me. So I just like smile at her like that. And she was like, "Oh, is this your basket?" I said, "No." She's like, "Oh, it was just here. I thought it might have been yours." No, ma'am. Keep
You look
going.
like your mama when you did that. I'm dead.
Because she
Yeah.
she could have just asked that. We right next to each other. She could have been like, "Is this your basket standing right here?" But I'm walking with speed, trying to
Right.
like zoom, 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 get around these
Zoom,
people.
zoom, zoom. Remember that commercial?
Also, I am sorry to the man who lives under me. I know I'm being loud.
Be okay.
I keep dropping and stomping, and it is
Mhm.
what it is. So yeah, she that's not even the story I want to tell. What I want to tell was this lady who I pull into the parking garage today, and somebody is, bless their heart, bless them, trying to back into the parking spot. They got their BMW because we have like, my building has stores underneath, so there's like a workout center and all this stuff. So there's like guest parking that's not gated. So she's backing into the gated spot in her little black BMW, and I can't turn into the parking garage to get into the garage because she's struggling backing into this parking spot about to hit the pole. Um, so this car comes in right when I start turning because they start like they're halfway into the spot now. So I'm like, okay, I can turn
Mhm.
and make my way to the garage door now. This car comes in, zooms around me. I honk at them because you see I'm turning my wheel.
Right.
And then they stop because they see the car stops reversing, pulls up again. So they see why I'm stopped now. You see why I had my brakes on.
Right.
And I would have said something to her because she pulled into the same first level that I pulled in. And we both get on the same elevator, but it was another black girl on the elevator. I said, I'm not about to start nothing right here, right now. But I really wanted to be like, what was your problem? I was like, oh, were you really in such a rush? Like, are you okay? And ma'am, you live right across from me, so we about to have beef.
Okay, yeah, I think the road rage is building up here.
So that's me right now. I
Yeah,
just don't get it.
yeah, I think it's building up. You've been there for 2 years now.
Yeah, and I already hate driving, and that's why I don't want to leave my apartment. I realized that today was like the reason I don't want to leave is because there's traffic and people can't drive. So why would I leave when I already don't like driving and there's
Yeah, I don't know how you,
traffic and people can't drive?
I don't know how you do that because I don't be wanting to drive. It's bad because I'm spoiled now that my job is literally around the corner, like 5 minutes away, one freeway exit, like literally 5 minutes flat. So I can leave my house late after my shift has started and still get there on time. But like driving 30 minutes with no traffic, I'd be like, "Ugh, I guess I'm coming out there, mother." But an hour and a half with traffic every day, I don't know how you do it.
Today I
Mm.
looked out. It was 50, maybe an hour going in and an hour coming back. But that was like a real, that doesn't happen. That's rare. So that's all I had.
It's 1 o'clock.
Any positives before we end this out? Anything you're
Um,
looking forward to this week?
yeah, positive. I actually feel like my coworkers like me. Like this is something because I'm 24 and all of them are 35, 40, 38. So yeah, they came to my birthday party. It was lit. It was like 20 of us, I think. Not all of them were coworkers, but it was like,
A good crowd.
yeah, it was like 9, 10 coworkers there. So yeah, that was good. And then I told you my one coworker be bringing me food sometimes. I'm like, do you need another daughter? Because I can be that if you want. I can be that. Um, but yeah, I guess that's the only main positive. Another main positive, my glorious King LeBron James won Olympic MVP. All of y'all saying that Steph Curry should have won it. I don't disagree that Steph Curry slightly saved them from an embarrassment. But when you score 36 points and 24 points in your last two games, and your average over what, like 6 games was still only 14 points, that's telling me all I need to know. Because Bron averaged about 14, led the team, all the other categories. Love my king. Go USA. I saw this thread earlier, and this girl was like, "Well, that ends my patriotism."
Mm-hmm.
Period. Because that's about it. We tied with China for 40 golds. Could have been 41 if, you know, actually, it could have very much been like 50, but we were slacking. We weren't on our game this year, but that's okay. We still won the Olympics because we tied for gold and then we had the most medals. So
Yeah.
ketchup, mustard, USA, USA,
Say
USA. Oh, say,
no. We are not gonna do that.
see.
Oh my goodness. Well, I am looking forward to
Early.
living by myself. I low-key shouldn't say that, but I
And
when I
you're in,
first moved here, I was very depressed because I knew no one and I was living by myself. Now I know people. So living by myself is gonna
yeah,
be great
and you're
because
an
I can
introvert.
be unbothered.
Yeah, you like your own space. That's me. Like, I wouldn't mind a roommate, but I don't want one. Like,
Hmm.
I need to be able to do my own thing. If I don't feel like cleaning this right now, I'm not going to. Whereas if you live with somebody, it's like, oh, let me do this, let me do the dishes. I want to be able to like walk around, no shirt, no bra, just free, If I forget my towel in the other room, I can leave my bathroom dripping wet and go get it. No clothes on.
As Ari Lennox said.
Raw dog.
I don't
Okay.
know how we got there, but on that
The
note,
new apartment. I'ma leave the floor wet. Walk around this naked, and nobody can tell me.
okay.
I actually have a bra on, so that it just. Okay. Anyway, we're off topic. It's 1 o'clock my time.
So we're gonna end this out here. Thank you all for listening to another episode of Unverified Accounts Pod. Make sure to watch on YouTube to see the lovely visuals, see our faces. As always, not the link, our bio will have all of our other social media platforms where you can follow us individually and the podcast as a whole and other places you can listen. And I think that's all we have for today. So we will, unless you have anything else to say.
Stay tuned for my mixtape dropping
Oh
soon.
yeah. And hopefully she hires me to be her backup dancer. So
Yeah, we might flip the script. Sydney not, you know what? She ditching that. She gonna come on the road with me. I told her she needs to be Tina
I'm
Knoll.
gonna be the stylist, the
Yeah,
manager.
yeah. She gonna be Tina before Destiny's Child was popping. When she was making them they look. I'm gonna be like Sydney. I need me sparkly camo, Swarovski. I'm really just describing one of Beyonce's outfits from
I
here.
know.
It was so cute. Anyway, mixtape coming soon. It's gonna be called.
She don't got a title yet, so.
I don't. No, I did the same thing yesterday. Anyway, all right.
Bye. See you in the next episode.